In February 1959, 9 experienced hikers vanished into the frozen wilderness of the Ural Mountains. Weeks later, rescuers found their tent cut open from the inside. The hikers were gone. What they discovered next would confuse investigators, scientists, and the Soviet government for over 60 years. It was January 1959. A group of 10 university students and graduates, led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, set out on a skiing expedition across the northern Urals. Their goal? Reach Otorten Mountain, a grueling trek through some of the harshest terrain. In the Soviet Union, one member turned back early due to illness, a decision that likely saved his life. The remaining 9 pressed on, unaware they were walking toward one of the most baffling deaths in modern history. Visual, close-up recreation of hikers writing in journals by lantern light inside a tent. They kept detailed diaries. Their last known camp was set up on the slope of a mountain the local Mansi people called Kholat Syakhl, which translates, chillingly, to Mountain of the Dead. When the group failed to check in, search teams were sent out. What they found on February 26th made no sense. The tent was still standing, but slashed open from the inside, as if something forced the hikers to flee in panic, with no time to use the exit. Footprints showed the hikers ran into sub-zero temperatures, some without shoes, some in only socks. Whatever happened, it terrified them enough to abandon warmth, shelter, and safety in the middle of the night. The first 2 bodies were found near a large cedar tree, dead from hypothermia. Broken branches high on the tree suggested someone had climbed it, perhaps to look back at the camp or to escape something on the ground. More bodies were discovered further into the forest. Then, months later, 4 more were found in a ravine. And this is where the case turns from tragic to terrifying. These hikers had catastrophic injuries, crushed ribs, a fractured skull, yet no external wounds. One woman was missing her tongue and eyes. Soviet investigators said the injuries matched the force of a car collision. But there were no vehicles, no avalanche debris, no signs of a struggle with another person. And strangely, some of their clothing was later found to be radioactive. For decades, theories have piled up. A secret Soviet weapons test gone wrong. A covert military strike. Witnesses weren't meant to survive. Infrasound, a rare wind pattern that some scientists believe can trigger a fear frequency, causing pure, irrational panic. Even a slab avalanche, a theory Soviet and later Russian investigators formally reopened in 2019. But no single theory explains everything. The cut tent, the radioactivity, the crushed bodies with no outer wounds, and the sheer terror written into every footprint leading away from camp. To this day, no explanation has fully satisfied investigators, scientists, or the families of the 9 who never came home. Something on that mountain, on that night, made 9 experienced hikers choose the freezing dark over their own tent. And whatever it was, it left no answers. Only questions that still echo through the Urals 60 years later. If you want to go deeper into history's darkest unsolved mysteries, subscribe to Global Mystery, because some stories were never meant to have an ending.